Sign number 1. The audit of net value. This is a sober assessment of whether a person's presence is an asset or a drain on his life. He isn't being cold, he simply refuses to waste his finite time on those who offer nothing but noise. A Sigma male acts as his own gatekeeper, investing deeply in those who multiply his peace while discarding those who subtract from it. He expects a partner who functions as a teammate, someone who builds alongside him, rather than someone who expects to be constant entertainment. If the reality of the relationship is a net negative, he will end it without a second thought. A multifaceted diamond where each facet enhances the whole. This level of self-respect often causes fear in those used to unconditional attention. He isn't a robot, he just values growth over stagnant company. Sign number 2, the neutralization of manipulation. This is an invisible barrier of intelligence that renders social games completely ineffective. He analyzes underlying motives and social scripts before the other person even finishes their sentence. He moves through the world unfazed by societal pressure, operating in the shadows where he cannot be coerced. He expects radical transparency and direct communication, having zero interest in deciphering emotional riddles or passive-aggressive hints. If a woman attempts to play social games to gain leverage, he identifies the tactic as a security risk and disengages immediately. Regrettably, some view this as being difficult, but for him it is a non-negotiable protection of his mental clarity. It's like navigating a storm that never ends. He simply chooses to sail in calmer waters. Sign number 3, the rejection of social validation. This is a total independence from the opinions and hierarchies that govern the average man. He functions outside the traditional top-dog contest because he doesn't need a crowd to tell him he has worth. A Sigma male treats his solitude as a fortress, moving through environments without ever asking for permission. He expects mutual respect based on genuine utility and character, not a peacocking contest of who is more popular. If you try to shame him into normal social behaviors to fit in, he views that judgment as vacuous noise and ignores it. He gains total freedom of action. It's not necessary for a woman to be directly involved in every move, but her understanding of his need for autonomy is crucial. Drop a comment below if you've ever felt the power of simply not caring what the crowd thinks. Sign number 4. The intellectualization of emotional volatility. This is the ability to treat high-intensity drama as a series of data points rather than a personal emergency. While the average man is easily manipulated by tears or shouting, the Sigma male steps back to deconstruct the mechanics of an outburst with surgical precision. He remains a pillar of stoicism, refusing to let another person's emotional spasms dictate his mood or his schedule. He requires calm, logical reciprocity before he will even consider a discussion worth his energy. A toxic trait common in some circles today is an addiction to drama. He views this as a parasitic energy drain. If a woman relies on emotional instability to get her way, she is flagged as a liability and permanently distanced. He isn't being cold, he simply refuses to let social noise compromise his inner peace.
Sign number 5, the enforcement of private boundaries. This is the treatment of one's personal time and space as a sacred fortress that requires an explicit invitation to enter. He shuts the door on intrusive extroverts who try to rescue him from his own thoughts because he finds his greatest strength in the quiet. A Sigma male protects his cognitive environment with a fortitude that others find off-putting or even intimidating. He expects a partner to value her own autonomy enough to respect his need for total silence and off-the-grid reflection. If someone attempts to bulldoze these boundaries or force him into a crowd against his will, he sees it as an act of aggression and terminates the connection. It breaks the power balance when a man genuinely doesn't mind being alone. He's not a hermit, he just chooses quality over quantity. Sign number 6, the exposure of performative vanity. This is a deep scanning process that bypasses a curated public persona to see the hidden flaws underneath. While most people are distracted by flashy status symbols or digital validation, he focuses solely on real-world assets and character. A Sigma male remains silent and observant, gathering data on the truth of a person while the crowd is busy performing for likes. He demands authenticity and a shared disregard for the peacocking contests of modern society. If he sees someone obsessed with their online image or social media projection, he identifies a red flag of narcissism and loses all interest. Navigating a world of decoys is easier when you know exactly what substance looks like. Let us know in the comments if you've ever spotted a fake persona from a mile away. Sign number 7, the deep scanning of character flaws. This is a quiet, comprehensive observation that bypasses the curated public persona everyone else buys into. While the average man is busy performing for the crowd or chasing the loudest voice in the room, the Sigma male remains silent, gathering data on who a person truly is when they think no one is looking. He values substance and genuine competence over the superficial riz or status symbols that society worships. He expects a partner with intellectual depth and a grounded sense of self rather than a surface-level performer. If he finds that someone is all vanity with no underlying character, he views them as a low-reward distraction and quietly disengages. It disrupts expectations when a man isn't fooled by a pretty face or a high follower count. He isn't being judgmental, he's simply protecting his time from people who offer no real value. Ultimately, these traits aren't about being cold or distant. They are about a radical commitment to your own inner strength. While the crowd is busy chasing ghosts and seeking permission, you are building a life on your own terms, anchored by a fortitude that others simply cannot touch. Your ability to see through the noise, to protect your peace, and to audit your circle is what makes you invincible in a world designed to distract you. You aren't just surviving the social game, you've transcended it. Your strength is far too deep for superficial games to reach, and nothing can ever take that away. Understand the game, but never feel obligated to play it. Thank you so much for watching.